across the board the betting favorite to win MVP. But he put an even bigger stranglehold over it if he did end up converting and not throw that interception. I was kind of surprised that he came out of the game like that because he did hand the Bucs a chance to go win the game, and I thought that was poor. And that's kind of why that's why I have a negative feeling towards this game, was because of how bad that was. Everything else, be it, because everyone else made plays across the board.
All I wanted to say to that is it's a little of both. Like, you're looking at, like, when you're looking at the run, I think it's wrong to look at the stats to make determinations. Like, to say they ran the ball well would be wrong. They did not, but they had those 2 big runs, which are great. But you don't know what those drives turn into without those runs either. They might be able to work their way down the field. So I'm not ready to say, oh, well, that there was these fluky, huge plays here. That's why you draft guys who run 4-2 something, 4-3 something. That's the point. You've been waiting to see it. A lot of the Patriots' success this year has been predicated on big plays and the long ball. And all of that stuff. So big plays have been their story and their success all season long. This time they just got it on the strength of people getting the ball and running with it in their hands, as opposed to Drake Maye literally dropping it out of the sky directly into somebody's hands. But it's a big part of their offense at this point. And that's why you draft these guys. You draft home run hitters to hit home runs. And the fact that they haven't yet is actually a bigger story to me than the fact that it all happened in one game. I'm stunned Henderson didn't once get into the secondary before week 10 and break one, because he did it so easily. That's what was crazy to me is there were guys.
Same with Kyle Williams. You get the ball in his hands in space and he just goes. Why didn't they do that 5 weeks ago?
There were guys in front of them and they were like, bye,
right.
Like all the way through. I mean, that's great. That's the type of speed we're just not used to seeing here. So I'll celebrate it rather than say, well, they got lucky because they only got those types of things, because it's part of the game and they hit it. I'm sure if you're on the Bucs side, they'll be like, we kicked their asses all game long, minus those 3 plays. We can't give up the big plays, Taylor, go ahead. I'm going to welcome Greg in a little bit. And we'll bring you guys back. But any closing thoughts for you?
I love that you said, like, that's why you draft these guys. It literally was one of the things that Mike Vrabel mentioned when he first became the head coach was, like, I think yards after catch was something he emphasized, and basically just not forcing Drake to have to do everything. Those were great examples. And I want to be clear on my perspective of this game, because now, which is awesome, because imagine, 5 months ago not only talking about them as a playoff team, but hey, they're not putting the nail in the coffin against 2 very good defenses and 2 clutch quarterbacks. Like, that's my biggest gripe, is that this is the second week in a row they had a chance to end things. Like, you can step on their neck and they will not have a chance to come back, and you let them. But it's only because now we have the privilege of looking at this through the lens of, okay, you do have to hold them to the standard of, is this going to be sustainable into the playoffs? Because they've made it very clear, this is a playoff team. So, like, when we're critical, I think where we thought the Patriots were in like September, it's more, hey, they're showing positive growth. Like, this is awesome. But no, they've shown that they're better than that. And I think it's fair to hold them to that standard of, okay, obviously they may not be there yet roster wise, but we have to critique what do they need to do to become a better playoff team. And I think that's it. When you have that drive where you can end it against a great defense and a quarterback who you do not want to mess around with in the fourth quarter, you got to do it. And that's how you pull these games out. And maybe it, I don't think it really matters if you win ugly or win pretty. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but we're only being critical because this team has blown past expectations. And I mean, even if they can't shore those things up, that's for next season. Hopefully they can continue to build long-term.
Guys, you've had time to let things marinate. What's percolating in your brains now that we haven't had a chance to talk about yet?
I'll just throw in. I'm actually writing this one up. Quick plug for SI.com. Drake Maye's humble response when asked about MVP chance in Tampa Bay. He said, "Oh, those must have been for Baker. Those weren't for me. Baker played his butt off, and that was a great team win. And I sunk, and I sucked with the interception, and Travion stepped up and caught." He's got it all. He's got the juice. Even when I sit here and I come on and I'm like, oh, he threw that stupid interception. This guy can't be the MVP favorite. Jonathan Taylor did it all this morning in Berlin. No, Drake Maye wins him the game, helps him win the game, still throws the backbreaker, and then comes out and says, no, those were Baker Mayfield's chance. This has got nothing to do with me. He's got the moxie. He's got it all. He says he doesn't have swag, but he does. And I'll take it because Drake's the MVP favorite through 10 weeks. And that should excite Patriots fans, even with a dumb interception on the goal line.
It's weird, right? Like, go ahead, Taylor. Let's get your thoughts.
No, you can go because I'll wait.
The whole thing is weird because, again, it's amazing how the overall standard has changed, where it's, again, for those of you who are young or new Patriots fans or just forgot because it's been a few years, this is how we covered the good Patriots, the Tom Brady Patriots, which was, again, the Patriots each year would play two meaningful games during the Tom Brady era. That was the AFC Championship game and the Super Bowl. And then everything else in between was just a long tune-up. And when they didn't play great, you would get pissed off and be like, they're never winning the Super Bowl like that. They only won this game by 2 scores, and that's because that other team turned it over late. That's unsustainable. And that's how you would cover the Patriots, because you held the standard was championship or bust. We're not in a championship or bust sort of mode right now, but it is crazy how we've completely changed. I'll eat this one myself. Early in the year, I remember people bitching about a loss. I was like, guys, who cares? I was like, Maye's playing great. You know, you got that guy. He's elevated his game. When they get more reinforcements in the coming year or two, they're going to be real right now. They're in great position. Let's not get worried about, well, if they had done this, they would. Now it's like, absolutely, you can't do that. You're going to cost yourself a game. Like there's certain teams you're supposed to beat now handily. And if you don't win those games handily, people are going to be like, what's up with these guys? It's complete. The whole conversation's changed tremendously over the course of just a few weeks here. And I think that this win is going to elevate it even further because, again, it's a good team. You haven't gotten a chance to play a lot of them, and you did everything you needed to win while still not playing a perfect game.
And if you want to look at this glass half full, which obviously we should be doing because this was a huge win, you walked into this game saying this is a Todd Bowles team that is very well coached, that's very disciplined, has a lot of veterans. They're going to be tough. Like, this is one of the most clutch teams. Baker Mayfield, I think, has as many, if not more. I think he's right there with Bo Nix for the most fourth quarter comebacks in the NFL this season. So you had to overcome that. And I know mentioned, like, I didn't know how the Bucs were going to be able to move the ball against this defense with any consistency. And to be fair, I wouldn't say they moved the ball consistently. They did get near the red zone a couple times, and it was some really well-schemed plays. But even still, you were able to stop them from coming back. And this is a team that was very much known for that. And it's Drake Maye for the third week in a row going up against what I think we could consider elite defenses, where they are defensive coordinators that have been in the league for a long time. And these are a lot of veterans, but also some explosive young players. And he didn't look perfect. And I don't know that you expected him to against this quality of opponent, and also different styles of defenses as well. Like, the Browns aren't the same kind of defense as the Falcons were, and the Falcons aren't the same as the Buccaneers. These were 3 very difficult tests. And while we can absolutely be critical and say, hey, for a quarterback with as much talent as Drake Maye and for the highs that Drake Maye has, there's still some significant things he needs to do better to be more competitive. And like we said earlier, really snap their necks when you have them down. But he still came out looking pretty good. And if it weren't for the interception, which it was a big interception, we're not just saying it doesn't exist, but if he didn't have that one, right? If he didn't have that one big miss, you're talking about him coming out of this with another 100+ passer rating. So I know that I focused on the things that needed to get better, and there are still a lot of things about this team where if you are talking about a playoff contender and a Super Bowl contender, there are things that do worry you about their ability to withstand the entire stretch of the schedule. But we're talking about them in the playoffs and being a team that I don't know. They're going to be that team that everyone's like, oh, you don't want to play them. And I don't even actually, are they even going to be in that conversation? Because they're still at the top of the AFC. Like, you can't even say that because they're not
sneaky anymore. They're a Super Bowl contender. That's what it is.
They're bleeping on the radar. They are wide in the open. And that's a pretty wild place to talk about being, considering even as optimistic as this show was. I think my prediction was like they'd be a wild card team, right?
It's a weird place. Yeah, Taylor Kyles is trying to calm you guys down. That's where we are right now. Yeah. Taylor is telling fans to chill out. Like, you're too positive, guys. But let's be real. That's where we are right now. It's friggin' crazy.
Just a thought on Taylor, what you said a little bit, adding to the fact that like they did play Dylan Gabriel and Cam Ward and like
soon to be Justin Fields in 4 days. That'll be fun.
Right. And it's like there haven't been great matchups, and everyone talks about the easy schedule, and I get it. you play who you play though. And the Falcon, Michael Penix, throw him in there because I guess he played okay last week, but he's not in this elite tier quarterbacks whatsoever. I put him more in the bottom half, and the offense is still doing their job. And I think that's what you look at here. Like, offense is doing their job against great defenses in Atlanta, in Cleveland, in Buffalo. Like, they play – the Buffalo was a little bit banged up, but you get the point. Like, they're still – it's not like they're going in, they're playing close games against the bad teams and allowing them to do a ton of stuff. Like, they're winning how they should. They're putting up the offense when they have to. They're stopping opposing offenses when they have to, right? Only letting up 13 points to Cleveland, only letting up 13 points to Tennessee. And they still get the output, 31, 32, 24 last week, 28 in the last couple weeks. Like, they're doing it every single week. And I don't mean they're necessarily playing to their opponent, but when you do have a tight game in Tampa Bay, you play that, you win it, and you come out with a victory. Same with last week against Atlanta with a filthy defense. And then the Browns game, the Titans game, the Saints game, I guess was on the road, so it was tough. But, like, they're doing everything they have to do. I'm sorry. Like, they are a Super Bowl contender, and it's pretty much – and I'm not saying sorry to you. I'm just saying, like, people wonder about the schedule and this, that, and the other. They're doing exactly what they have to do, and they've turned themselves into a legit Super Bowl contender at 8-2.